We're bringing you the update from Sudan in East Africa, where United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has announced that he is dispatching an ambassador to the Sudan region due to the region's unique situation as violent clashes reach its third week. The declaration came as violence between the army and highly armed paramilitary persisted in Khartoum, despite the extension of a widely violated ceasefire for another 72 hours. The Envoy, Martin Griffiths, the UN Emergency Relief Coordinator, warned in a separate statement that the humanitarian crisis in Sudan is a breaking point. He emphasized that despite reports of widely spread looting of humanitarian offices and warehouses in the nation, the body will be looking into urgent measures to bring in and distribute extra supplies in Sudan. This comes after the two warring Sudanese forces announced the extension of an existing ceasefire that they have largely violated for a further 72 hours. Sudanese freelance journalist Sani Aliyu joins me now for an on-the-spot assessment. Thank you, Sani Aliyu, for joining me.
Hello.
Good morning, Sani Aliyu. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can. Thank you for joining me again. You were with us earlier on Breakfast Central, and thank you for joining again. Now, Sani Aliyu, the United Nations has warned that the humanitarian crisis in Sudan is at a breaking point. And since tensions have been brewing between both generals, did anyone envisage that it will deteriorate to this point?
No one. Everybody who is concerned about what is happening in Sudan will tell you that no one envisaged that the situation in Sudan is going to deteriorate to this point. There has been a long-running battle between, between the president of the military government, that is General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and his deputy, who is the commander of the Rapid Support Forces. That is General Hamdan Daglo. But everybody thought that the military and the paramilitary on one side, the civilian associations and organizations that have always been thinking that the Sudanese government does not want to hand over power according to the arrangement that was made earlier, that they should hold power for 3 years and hand over to the civilians.
Okay. Also, I mean, do you think that it could have been avoided at the starting stage?
Certainly, it would have been avoided if people had been forewarned. It was a very big surprise when the Rapid Support Forces woke up one morning somewhere along Khartoum Central, and they saw the Sudanese army attacking their positions. They were not ready. They were caught unawares too. That is one of the things one can say is a pointer to the fact that they were not sure this was going to happen. Nobody knew it was going to happen this way. We all thought, most Sudanese people thought, there would be a long drawn out, well, the best word here to use is a long drawn out process leading to handover of power.
And we also hear that there are a group of students who are still stranded along Egyptian border in Port Sudan, inside Khartoum, and of course other cities. Why haven't these people been evacuated, and how many students are we talking about?
Well, right now, I must tell you, the government of Nigeria is talking about 4,500 Nigerian students. The figure is actually false because there are a lot of students who have come into Sudan on their own. They are not registered. They attend, there are two types of schools here actually. The first type are the regular universities and colleges. And then we also have these schools that are traditional in nature, Islamic schools, if you may. And actually the number of students in Sudan far outstrips 10,000 by all estimates, but the Nigerian government says 4,500, and up to this point in time, none of these 4,500 students has been evacuated. They are in 3 different locations. One two groups are at the border point across the desert, close to the Egyptian border. One group is en route to Port Sudan on the Red Sea coast. There are some that are still inside Sudan, unable to make it to Khartoum or any point where they can be. They are still there in the cities and towns, especially in Khartoum.
Okay, thank you, Ali. Now, we also hear that there are several exit points from Sudan, and we just want to know how safe are these students if they try to find a way out through these exit points, and will there be any impediments to their crossing for evacuation?
Yeah, there are several. In the north, you've got the two exit points I just spoke about into Egypt. You've got one at Port Sudan, that's 3. You've got the fourth one at the Ethiopian border in Gadaref State. And then you've got one in South Sudan. Then there's another one in across the border in Central African Republic, CAR, and several, about 3 or 4 exit points into Chad. But the problem is there is a lot of unrest along the southern border and in the west of Sudan. So the best way to get out of Sudan is through the northern border with with Egypt, and across the eastern border with Ethiopia, or through the Red Sea. So these are the best places you can leave Sudan right now. They are safe.
Right. Ali, the Sudanese army also said that it has agreed to extend the truce with the paramilitary RSF for 72 hours, and that will start from the end of the current ceasefire agreement. But we've seen repeated violations of the agreement, with attacks rocking major cities and sites. The last 72 hours that was declared, a peace deal, to cease fighting, was highly violated. So isn't this a mockery of whatever truce that they may have? And what would this fighting degenerate into? Do you see a civil war at hand?
Yes, that is a fear. A civil war is actually afoot. The major concern here is that nobody knows who is in charge of Khartoum, the capital of Sudan. Nobody knows. We only know that more than 50% of the city is in the hands of the paramilitary forces, the RSF. Nobody has seen General Al-Burhan, the president or the military ruler of Sudan. For the past 3 or 4 days, he only appears in videos that have been pre-recorded. On the other hand, General Hamdan Daglo, who is in charge of the Rapid Support Forces, the commander himself, he appears regularly and speaks to the press. Unfortunately, nobody is listening to anybody. And this has made the situation a lot worse. Even the Western countries, like the US and the European powers, they have not found a way to calm the situation down. That's why they have all evacuated their people. All their citizens are out of Sudan already. Nigeria and a few other countries are still struggling to get there. But most Western powers, they have nobody in Sudan right now. This shows that there is a lot of concern regarding the situation in Sudan right now. Civil war is quite a distinct possibility right now.
All right, Mr. Sani, lastly, I hope you're staying safe. I hope where you are is free from the chaos.
Yes, I'm in a city south of Khartoum, about 300 kilometers away. And as I said, there's no fighting here, but a lot of people pass through, refugees, people who have been displaced. Yeah, it's quite safe. As you can see behind me, a lot of people move around, cars, people are driving around, markets are open. The situation is close to normal, as possible.
Right. All right, Sudanese freelance journalist Sani Aliyu, thank you so much for your time with us on the news.
Thank you so much.
We go on a short break now, and when we come back, we'll bring more stories. Do stay with us.